Hello everyone, how you guys doing? Welcome back to the podcast. I believe this is episode 10. Wow, we did 10 podcasts. Well, technically this is our 10th one. Alright, so previous one we did a podcast on the creation of the scars. And that was pretty interesting, but I'm pretty sure you guys will find this one a little crazy and interesting as well, because we're about to talk about the Rattlers and how they're created. Okay, so let's get started with this. Now, the group type is a slavery gang. Yeah. When you think about the slavery gang, you're like, what do you mean? Like, do they catch infected and like torture them? They do, but they do the same thing with humans. Yeah, I'll get into that. Their headquarters is Hacienda Blanco in Santa Barbara. Obviously, of course, we know that Santa Barbara, California. Now, their members and notables are a large rattler and a small rattler named Pat, but both of them are deceased. So let's go to the lore, the background of it. Sometime after the outbreak of the cordyceps brain infected, the rattlers were founded. They are a heavily armed group of hostile survivors who has set camp in Santa Barbara, California. They also occupy and patrol the suburbs and woodlands areas, so no one's safe there. Their base of operations is a former oceanside resort known as Hacienda. That's the Rattlers converted into a fortress and slave labor camp. The group ambushes unwary travelers and traders as well, and takes their supplies for its own uses. They have traps set up across the city to catch infected and humans, strays alike, with the former chained up and used as guard dogs, while the latter are forced into slavery. Yeah, it's sad. Capturing the other survivors to use as slaves demonstrates that the Rattlers have long-term method to secure stable food supply for themselves, similar to Jackson a little bit, the Jackson community, but with far more brutal methods of accomplishing it. Those who resist their enslavements are sent to the pillars, wooden beams set out on the beach where they are strung up and left to die from the exposure to the elements, like we saw Abby and Lev tied up there when we were playing as Ellie, rescuing Abby, wanting to fight her. Those who did harbor a deep hatred for them. Some even plot to gather a group to attack the Rattlers' dome. So there were some instances where there are some runaways and they did escape from the pillars. When you saw Ellie and Abby and Lev towards the boats, some of them actually did escape, but they had so much hatred for them. They wanted to get their own gang, their own group, but they know that they couldn't get enough members to take on the Rattlers, because the Rattlers, as you can see by them, they show no mercy, no regret, no empathy. They're just sadistic, psychotic maniacs. The Rattlers are sadistic in nature as well. Some intentionally, apologies, infecting slaves and chaining them up for their amusement. Yeah, that's what they do. It's insane and just really weird, crazy. For their amusement, entertainment, any kind of slaves that they see, this is what they do. He's making too much noise. Bring him over here. Take him out of the cell. You see that infected over there, that little clicker or that runner? Let him bite his arm and let him turn into infected and chain him up like a dog. And they just sit there and laugh at him while he's churning, losing his mind. That is a little game that they play. The Rattlers treat their victims with such cruelty that dying in escape attempt is preferred by some. Yes, we did see one part where Ellie was sneaking past, well, trying to get to the dome, I guess you could say. She saw a runaway, and you can hear the Rattlers say, "Don't kill the runaway." And then the runaway pulls out a gun and says, "I'm not going back." And the Rattler says, he has a gun, he has a gun, where did he get the gun? And he shot himself in the head. Yes. So the slaves would prefer death rather than go back to slavery, or like in the hands of any single kind of rattlers, because they're unpredictable. Now, I want to also talk about this. Those who do escape are dubbed runaways, that the rattlers chase to recapture. So it's like a game to them that they love playing. Sometimes they'll leave the locked door unlocked. Like they'll unlock the, I guess you could say it's the chain door. They'll leave it unlocked. They want a few people to escape because they have traps all around the whole city, and it's a game to them. It's like a cat and mouse game. They want to see how many people they can recapture. If they have a problem with someone to capture the most, if they keep on escaping, or if they're annoying, causing trouble, they'll end up sending them to the pillars or turn them into affected. They do not have them as butlers, waiters, anything like that. They're brutes of Fort Natures. Okay, so uh, they purposely harm slaves in a way that wounds them, but do not kill them because they want them to stay alive. Evidenced by one rattler stopping another from beating Abby to death with a bat, and a patrol leader instructing her squad to shoot runaways in their legs to stop them from running. So that's what they'll do. Just a flesh wound. They'll give them a flesh wound as a warning, like, you're not going anywhere. You're staying here with us. You're either going to stay here or you're going to die. Despite this, some were still willing to join the group as it's secure for them protection of their families. So that's insane. That's how crazy and sadistic people really are. Some of the residents actually took notice of the Rattlers. They're like, there's no sides. What should we do? The Rattlers only took people that were strong and had moral values and did not care about human life at all. They enjoyed that. They recruited members that will actually follow along the rules. They're more psychotic and crazy than the Scars. At least the Scars had laws, and the Scars protected their own, like, such as the children and stuff. They do not have laws with them. They're so surrenders. The rules are basically do not escape. Yes, you escape, the sentence is death. Technically, you already are dead once you get captured by one of the Rattlers, or any of the Rattlers, for that is. There is no significant evidence that Fedra was ever in Santa Barbara. We did not see any signs. I replayed the game as Abby and Ellie off camera, and I tried to look for any indications, letters, or clues if Fedra was actually around Santa Barbara, but unfortunately, no luck on my end. I couldn't find any um, evidence that Fedra was there. But the thing is that how are they so smart at creating these traps and tracking down people? That's because before outbreak, pre-outbreak, some of them were actually hunters. Do you guys remember what I said? They patrol woodland life, the woods. They know the terrain. They know how to hunt. Some of them were ex-military. Some of them had PTSD as well. If you're already out of line, what they would do for fun is they would grab you, pluck you out of your cell, and have an infected bite you, chain you up next to the infected, let you lose your mind, go out of control, turn you into affected, and then release you and shoot you for gunplay. Well, for target practice. That was one of their games right there that they will also play. And yeah, of course, they would end up feeding them a little bit, give them water every now and then to keep them alive, to keep their entertainment up. Fireflies. That's the question. Were there fireflies there? Owen was right. There were fireflies there. But unfortunately, the fireflies, they were only able to outlast the Rattlers for, I'd say, about 3 months. They were only able to. The Rattlers eventually found them. When they found them, some of the fireflies actually became enslaved. Some of them actually were the ones who escaped. Yeah, escaped from Hacienda. Other than that, what do you guys think about this? So, Owen was right. There were fireflies there, but not anymore because they escaped. And the thing is that they kept on staying on the radio comm, the Rattlers, and posing as fireflies because they're really smart. They knew that there are probably some other travelers that are probably looking for some fireflies. So they're like, let's stay on the radio comm just in case someone tries to find this secret firefly stash. We can ambush them. So they're actually pretty smart in their own ways as well. Hope you guys enjoyed this little podcast. If you're new, subscribe to the channel as always. And yes, of course, I'll see y'all in the next one.